Good evening. My name is Martin Cunningham. Here in the Snowhill community, the citizens are meeting with our public officials to discuss issues that will involve this community.
Bow our heads in prayer. Our Father in heaven, we give you thanks for allowing us to come together again one more time. Father, we thank you for life, health, and strength. Pray that you bless this meeting, Heavenly Father, as we come together. Let us come to be, as you said in your word, come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. So Heavenly Father, we pray that you just be with us, give us guidance. And but the town of Greeleyville sent the notice out, and it states that it was applying for a grant which would bring clean drinking water to our area. And so I can understand that that's to have good, clean drinking water. That's good in any area. But we don't really know what it's all about and what is expected. And I realize that in one place in the statement it says that the state will not give us a grant to connect water lines to just a few residents while passing others by. If we do not get grant, you decline to connect with the water when the water comes through your area. Please be mindful that Williamsburg County will add $280 to your property taxes at the end of the year. And that is one of my questions, is what's the purpose of the $280 being added to our property taxes? Because of when it's not there in the beginning. I mean, I realize sometimes taxes go up, but like $280, that was one of our questions. And so we was hoping that someone could be here to give us some answers concerning these matters.
Let me say good evening to everybody. All right, first thing I want to say, I asked him, I'm glad to be here this evening, first of all. When Ms. Ward called me about this meeting, I had forgotten exactly what day it was, but I got a text from her today. She said, I'll see you at 6. I said, oh my goodness, today's the day. So, but I'm here. And I also asked her when she called me initially to get somebody from the town of Greeleyville to be at this meeting also. And she said she was going to call Jesse and some of those council members, because this is not a Williamsburg County project. Now, all the things that Brian was discussing is ordinances that we have in place for Williamsburg County, like the monthly fee,
and the water availability.
The availability user fee. All those things are things that was enacted by the Williamsburg County Council. Now this is going to be separate. The town of Greeleyville is doing this because we've given them a franchise to do this in this area, meaning that we'll be out of this area. They can take over and do the water projects in this area. And that's what they've done. Now, I don't think they've gotten an ordinance yet. I don't think. I stopped by Mayor Parker's house just now, and he said he was doing some work at his house, but he's coming on. They could tell you a little more about how this is structured from their perspective. Now, I can tell you, or Dr. Wright can tell you, but how we do the Williamsburg County water projects, but that would have no relevance to what you all are doing unless they kind of pattern their ordinance after our ordinance. But that's what we do. If you live in the close proximity, about 750 feet of where the water lines are, and you don't hook up, you'll be assessed a fee. It was $180, and I think we did a past ordinance, was it last week, a week before last? But we added an additional $100 to that, making it a total of $280 for the county. And those fees are because it takes money to maintain these projects once we get them going. And also, I want to say that the water, when you got access to water, it gives you potential for growth. Businesses will look more favorably at the area, coming to the area to do things because you've got good water. And those kinds of things is a positive. And what I thought that most of the people in this area wanted water, because that's what I've been being bombarded with, and I'm surprised I didn't see McKeever here, because he was adamant about getting that water. Man, but we need some good water, our water is bad. I said, well, hopefully the town of Greeleyville is supposed to be doing something. And that was about 3 weeks ago. So now, and other people said they wanted the water. So I was kind of shocked when Francis said, but nobody at the meeting wanted water. And I didn't know if it's because they didn't understand.
Whoa. I hate to oppose. I was here.
There was one
and
fellow.
I think it was more than, I think it was more than one. I'm for it,
Okay.
but that's me, I'm speaking
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, you were the only fellow here that said you were for it.
Okay, well, I was just,
Well,
I thought
they
it
might
was,
have, see, my thing is I'm direct. There might have been some people wanted and speaking silence amongst one another.
Right.
I'm direct with mine. I want it, and there's another people, I think here now, they might don't want to say out, but
Right.
I'm for it, and there's other people here
Yeah.
for it.
that can tell
I'm
that
all
Matt,
for it.
that's WJ?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, WJ, and see what I'm trying to tell people, when you got, for a long time, Williamsburg County have been left behind some other more affluent counties because of the kind of thinking, like, we don't need this, we do. In order for things to come, for progress to come to your area, you've got to have the infrastructure in place to get it. And water and sewer is one thing. So we get the water, and maybe perhaps down the road sometime you might can get sewer. But right now, we're trying to get the water to the people. And we was under the impression that that's what basically everybody, majority, not everybody, the majority of the people wanted. Now what we see here today is not a good representation of the community. This is a few people.
Right,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Woods,
Yes, sir.
when you say we was under the impression, who is we?
Well, let me say me. I was under the impression. Okay.
Did you bring in? Okay.
Okay,
But I have something to cut here. This really, someone from Greeleyville should have been here. Greeleyville may charge y'all $2,000 a month. I don't know what they're gonna do. This is not Williamsburg County project.
Well, how are you connecting it? How is it being connected to
I'm not
Greeleyville?
connected.
Because we're not under Greeleyville.
I'm telling you, we give Greeleyville a franchise to this area. They wanted to do this, we can get water. Because for us, it might be another 30 years before we get water here. But Greeleyville said they had a plan. We think if y'all let us have that area, we can get water to the people. We said, okay, take it. And they got it. And now they got the water about ready to come. So that's why, but we're not connecting Greeleyville to the county. We're not doing that, Mr. Cunningham.
How's Greeleyville gonna add $280 to our county property tax?
I don't know if Greeleyville gonna do that.
That's what they said in the letter.
Okay, well, maybe they plan to mirror our ordinance, I don't know.
And nowhere did it say that there was a franchise.
They plan to do what?
This is the first time we've heard
Right.
of it. Nobody said it.
Well, that's why I told you, Francis, you should have invited some people, and you told me you were gonna call Mayor Parker and get him here and some of the council members, because see, they can tell you some things that they've discussed that I'm quite sure the supervisor and I are not aware of.
and see,
Because
excuse me,
I-
this is a premature meeting anyway, again, because we met before,
Yeah.
and no one had direct answers that we needed, and that's the only solution and reason we're here today. We thought that it would be, actually, we was under the impression, well, I was under the impression that it would be you and Justin that could give us the significant answers and questions that we need.
That's right.
And then another thing, the thing with the well, financially different, some people well is dug deeper than others, so you're getting different types of water. So everyone's finance wasn't the same at those times
That's right.
back then to dig deeper. But I'm all for it, that's me speaking for me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a win-win for everybody. That's just my thoughts. I think to have good water is always a good thing. It sets you up for your health, it's good for your health, and it's good for progress.
Now, it was more people here
Right.
last time. I informed Mr. Montgomery, some people didn't know about it, and the letter that was sent out, I supposed to have got one from the factory. I didn't know anything about that letter.
Like, did you-
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, I didn't know anything
Also
about
add
that.
a little value to it. I don't know if someone over here had a question.
Would you stand, would you mind
Yeah,
standing?
sure, definitely. I'll stand up. I don't know, I think this woman has her hand up. Is there a question?
All right, Brother Woods, you made yourself clear when you said it's not Williamsburg County.
Right.
All right, we clear on that. But see now, Greeleyville, the town of Greeleyville, this is the second meeting. Someone should have been here from there to clarify
Right.
today
I
with some
agree.
more detailed information on this water. Now, let me say this right here. I am a resident in this area right here. And most of us are on a fixed income. A monthly fixed income. You gonna tax me, what's that? $280. I'm already at the max with my income. Where am I getting? So now that means my property gonna be taken if I don't pay that money.
But see, what you were saying is premature, because see, again, the problem lies here. Dr. Right now, I can answer a question
You can.
like that.
No.
Because you may have to pay, the Greenville may say, okay, $25. We say, the county says $280.
Greenville
Greenville may
said in
say,
Atlanta, 280.
okay, well,
That's what the letter
okay,
said. We didn't
I
look
haven't seen
up.
that, okay. Well, then I can't answer why. Then see that why I told Ms. Ward, I said, Francis, I'll come, but it's not our project, it's Greenville.
Yeah, you
I said, you need to
said
invite
that.
Jesse or some of the city council members. And she said, Butch, I'll do that. And I came here tonight looking for Jesse. I stopped by Jesse's house and said, Jesse, you come to the meeting? Because I had asked him about that council meeting the other night. He said, but I didn't know until you told me at council meeting. He said, but I'll come. And he said, but Francis ain't gonna hardly call me Butch.
But who has
And I know that they had a
authority?
franchise, I called him.
Let me,
I was
before
under
we
the
all,
impression this was
and your point is taken, and I hear what you're saying, but we have to look at it from the totality. Again, we don't represent the town of Greeleyville, we represent Williamsburg County.
Yeah, we
Which is
understand.
everyone. That doesn't mean the county's boundaries don't stop at Lane or doesn't stop at Greeleyville. So our responsibility is also to the citizens in any town also.
Yeah.
It's just the governing body that has that. So obviously you all know that now. But if you look at things, so you're saying that you're potentially, whatever that letter states as far as the town of Greeleyville, that you may have to pay $280. Let me tell you how you're gonna take that at $280. Now, however he decides to do it, I don't know. But what we have been telling our citizens, because we impose the same type of fee. That's what he stated, basically to keep up with the maintenance of having a water system. You can't build something and not be prepared to maintain it. That's life. Farmers Telephone just went up $10 on their bill, and they do it incrementally. And we hear no one complaining about those incremental increases
I
in
do.
your water.
Yes, I
Yes,
do.
but do we
You
get,
know what I
do
do?
we get it cut
I
off?
cut my farmer's
Okay,
telephone
and if you
off.
do, you cut it off, right? Not everybody does that, right? But these are just how inflation works. Things go up. And that's just something that we have to understand. Our food prices, the cost of bread 10 years ago is not the same cost of bread now. It's just, this is what happens. So yes, things have to go up. Unfortunately, when you want things, we gotta spend money. However, one of the many things of having water is that you don't have to pay as much homeowner's insurance. You cut your homeowner's insurance down in half.
And in 2 years, the insurance company will raise it back.
I gotta see that. But I'm just saying, that's one of the things that go down. How do you think they fight fires? They have to bring water in when you have areas that do not have water. Right? You have to do that. Your ISO rating in these areas that do not have a fire hydrant close by and a fire station close by and water is at a 10. You have an ISO rating of a 10. You get water in here, we can get it down to a 4. That is a significant cost savings every year for your mortgage.
We understand that.
So that's one of the benefits. I'm just saying.
Maybe, could be.
But I can prove it to you.
Case in point. My car was downtown, it burned down in front of the bank, the water station was right back there. Nobody came to put it out.
Ma'am, that's firefighting issues.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
has nothing to do with having the availability.
You're saying the
of
water.
Yes, having the availability.
They
of
have
water.
the availability to the water to come and put it
That's
out.
right, that's right.
But she's saying your rates with the insurance company
We're
would be
talking about
low.
rates. Just, and I can't control that.
Another point, and I can't even afford insurance.
I was in the insurance business for 20
I can't afford insurance. Everybody I go to, you don't hear back from them. And I'm just living by the grace of God. Can't afford insurance. I'm not ashamed if I say I'm a low income and I'm not ashamed to lay my, out on the table for you to see. I'm not ashamed of that. God give it, God take it. He give me what I need.
Right.
And the only thing that he's allowing me to have is that fixed income. And if y'all tax me you say it's not
It's not a government.
it's not a Williamsburg, whatever prop thing. You see, y'all is doing it because of the county or the Williamsburg County.
We're
Y'all
doing it
doing it
based
for
on
every.
the water projects that are in Williamsburg County.
Okay,
And this will be a.
and even if
Right, but it's not part of the Williamsburg County water system. It's part of the Greeleyville water system.
All right, like, this is my problem with this thing. They said they were $4 million for this project. So I went online and I counted the houses along the route that they said they were going on. And I counted about 300. That's $13,000 a house. That don't make sense. Y'all spending, how much is the debt service on water now? $500,000 a year for the
More than
next
that.
40 years. We ain't built a new school. We need a new school in Greeleyville. But we can't afford it because we got water. Y'all built a new system at Mazon, spent $3 million for less than 70 people. That comes out to about $43,000 a person, a household over. That doesn't make fiscal sense.
Francis, it does when you see this opening up possibilities for
But we
growth.
got 3 industrial parks that are empty. And they all got water and sewer and electricity. And there's 3 of them that are empty.
Right.
I personally don't want an industry to locate on
Growth.
this highway.
I'm 70 years.
I don't want that.
A lot of people in the county don't want that. They don't want the county to grow apparently, but some of us do.
What are you gonna bring out here for to cause growth? If the water system come through, what are you gonna put
I
in
can't tell you
Snow
that.
Hill?
It's a little premature. I can't tell you that right now.
Because there ain't nothing coming.
And there's nothing coming.
If we
There's-
are negative,
Look at King
right.
Street. King Street is there, and everything is leaving King Street.
I'll tell you, this letter is.
There's no
misleading.
stores there.
Let's see what she
Yeah,
has to
I want to hear what
say.
she has to say. Then I will
Yeah.
graciously address any of the issues that any of you have at that point, dealing with growth possibilities for
Okay,
Williamson
I,
County, Germany.
yeah, I want to ask the question, like you saying, county versus Greeleyville project. Okay, we live on 261, but our address is Greeleyville. Now, the water won't even be coming by us, correct? Or
I don't
or
know
they
the
don't know
path
this
that the water is being drawn. Usually, like, hopefully when they did your council meeting, they showed you the water path, I hope.
They did not.
But from what,
We don't
from
know
what
that.
the letter stated, it was like to the crossroad up from the Eastler Road.
Okay.
That's the way it was stated. But anyway, being our address is Greeleyville, would we have to pay the $280?
No, if the water is not coming by your area, it's not available, that's called the water availability fee. That's the only reason why they charge you. But you could, if it ain't coming near you.
And let me point out one other thing too. Another reason why they charge the availability fee. We've gotten into some issues a couple of years ago where we got these projects moving and we didn't have the finances to do it. So then the lending sources got a little scared. They said, well, we're gonna lend you all this money, and how you gonna pay it back? You don't have the resources to pay it. So then we had to attach a user availability fee to make them feel comfortable that they know they can get their money back once they've loaned us the money. So that was the genesis of this user availability fee coming into effect.
So what, excuse me, but this is a grant or loan? I can't.
Probably part grant,
Big
part loan.
yeah.
But there's.
Well, see, that wasn't stipulated to it.
I'm imagining, according to.
That's
That's what
like,
it's
that's
stipulated
like tricky right there, that's
But we
like.
don't know.
They say it was a grant.
I don't know.
They say it was a
It
grant.
was a grant, and when I called, they said, no, they couldn't get a grant, got to get a loan.
Okay, so it may be,
See,
USDA
this
don't-
letter is
don't-
very misleading.
yeah.
But this is the second time we've
Not
had this
again.
meeting, this is the second time we had this meeting, and we just beat the wet bag. No one, and it should have been, but that's hypothetically, we here
Yeah.
with seeking information, and the people that should be here to guide us and give us the direct information, saying they found out later. I don't know who was in response of calling Butch, I'm sorry, Jesse to have him here, but this is the situation we had, like, last time, apparently, you don't have the information, and that's not on you, because whoever's supposed to be here, Jesse's name was on the letter that they received, we never received it. So he should be the main one here to give us the answer.
Because Jesse doesn't give them a franchise. Nowhere here does it say we got a franchise.
But Francis, that's why I told you to invite Jesse. That's a really
You
good
didn't
project.
tell me you gave Jesse a franchise.
But why did I tell you to tell Jesse? I said, the town of Winterville is doing that project. And I told you, you see, I'm gonna
My
call Jesse.
understanding, the town couldn't do it without your blessing, you didn't
Then
I
all
didn't
of a sudden,
understand that you had already given them.
right.
Without.
And like
Well,
me,
that's
I don't
that's why I
understand
told you
this.
to call yesterday. I wouldn't have said that if there was no reason for them to be here.
So what usually happens in a franchise, we franchise portions of Williamsburg County off to Andrews, we franchise pieces of it off to Kingstree, because if it's a Hemingway, if they have the ability to get water or resources to the citizens that want it in that area, and we can't get it there to them, then yeah, we want them to take advantage of that opportunity.
Okay.
So they get franchised.
Okay, I got that, but like, they saying, and, you know, we have people here on fixed income. So now you're saying, give them this amount of money, and then it may not be that amount, so that money is gone. So why pay hypothetically something more than not needed to finance, and so what?
Well, I don't know, you said Dave, I don't know, I know for
The
our.
citizen here who's on fixed
Oh,
income.
I know our water project, we had a water analysis done, and that was important for us to determine what is our debt, and what could we reasonably charge to pay the debt off and continue to maintain the water system, meaning, you know, after 10 years, you're gonna have to bring pipes out and repair them.
And
So
you-
we did an analysis
I got you. And
that
you understand what
suggested
picture
how
she
much
has
this.
saying that,
And
it's
what
saying it's a
happened was
grant.
you doubled the water bill.
Is it-
It went from $20 to $40.
Which we were still lower than Greeleyville.
But still, you doubled the water bill.
Lower than Greeleyville, Kingstree, everybody else.
Hemingway?
Anyway,
I'm not paying a water bill, so,
right, but we were still lower than anybody else.
but you doubled the bill
We did,
overnight.
did.
You didn't
But
give an incremental $10
they
every
couldn't do
time.
it
You
because
doubled.
they were supposed to do it. It
But
was
they
so
didn't.
written, right,
I
but they
don't trust
didn't.
government.
Right, and I get it, I understand that, but again, this was written a long time ago. In each grant requirement and a loan requirement that we have, I'll be right with you, that we are supposed to, when this first started, to go up incrementally, so that it wasn't gonna be noticeable to our citizens. But now, unfortunately, it wasn't done, and the bills are coming due, so yes, she's absolutely right, we had to go
Double the
up
water bill.
to the top of
So,
the
and I know that's
area.
not your fault, but you are elected.
Right,
And 4 years from now, we might be dealing with somebody else.
right, right.
But math don't lie. She just read off the numbers of the analysis of the numbers. Numbers don't lie.
Right,
And they say in this letter that they.
but that's
tested
really
well.
good.
And
Again,
it was
we
bad
did
water, but
our
I said,
analysis.
tell me about, they don't have any answers about it. This is very misleading.
But
As
listen,
my county supervisor, I want you to tell Greenville that this is a very misleading letter.
I can say it, but
And they need to
I
do
don't
that.
govern them,
No.
everybody's got
I
to do
know
what they
you
got to do. But
don't.
I can tell them, you know, y'all should have put a little bit more in there. Yes, I agree with
And
you.
it should have went to everybody. I didn't get the letter.
I don't know who the letter went to, how,
and the thing is, this is a big community.
yeah.
I think, like I said earlier, this meeting here, this representation here is not representative of the community. We don't have 20 people here, and this community has hundreds. And where are the people? Were letters sent out or notification given to everybody? No, see, that's the thing. And then the deputy just said, the people that can answer some questions that you have, Francis, that you all have, they're not here. Now, I told her I would come and answer what I could, and I invited Dr. Wright to come. She said, I'll go. So we can only answer things from our perspective in the county. But I don't know what all went into Greeleyville doing this
Well, that's
project,
what I'm
anything.
telling you, this is very misleading.
I understand, yeah.
Nowhere does it let us understand Greeleyville has the franchise. We met here tonight thinking Williamsburg County's in charge of this, we're gonna talk to them.
But Francis, if you'd have done what you told me you could do, so you want to call Jesse, then didn't I tell you something? Right, Jesse?
Don't stay on
And you
that.
said, I will. And if you had, even though you didn't know that, if you had invited Jesse, some of these questions might have been answered. And hopefully he come on.
I've been genocide this man.
They need to come in here and explain why they did this right here. And I'm telling you right now, if everybody in the community who does not hook up has to pay that $280 out of their budget, then the people, Williamsburg County, gonna be taking people's property.
No, but listen, let me tell you this too. Let me tell you the good thing about this thing, this whole thing. If, that's why I said we need to have a lot of people here, the community. If you don't want this water, guess what? The town of Greenville, I'm quite sure, this letter doesn't say, it's gonna make you get water. If 2 people, 5 people, 10 people say we want the water, the rest of the people say we don't want that crap around here, guess what? Won't be no water. So there's no need for us to argue about that. If you don't want it, Greenville is not gonna make you take it. I think it's a good thing, but if the citizens say, no, we don't want that, that's it. That's it.
Well, I tell you what, as my elected county council, I want you to say, Francis don't want that water.
No, I said, Francis, I wanna speak to you already
No,
at this
I want you
meeting.
to say, Francis,
I'm not gonna-
I can't vote for Jesse.
Right.
I'll vote for you.
Right.
Or not.
If it was something relevant to Williamsburg County, and
This
our,
is relevant to
no,
Williamsburg County.
it's an independent project.
You are my elected
That's
representative.
correct, that's correct.
So represent me.
That's what I try to do. But I've not.
Right, Miss Eva, represent me and
And he
Miss
was,
Eva.
and just like he was our representative,
Mm-hmm.
You have something to do with Jesse. You should be able to go to Jesse and tell Jesse, those are my people, and you are sending them letters. I want you to be out there and explain to them what they need to know.
Okay, I speak for the majority. Now, if somebody had, if it was 100 people and 80 of us said, Butch, go tell Jesse we don't want that. Now, the same way you, one person saying, go tell Jesse this, but Kiva Corners and 95 more may say, but don't you tell Jesse that. See, it put me in a bad position when you only got a small representation of the community here today.
But people in the community didn't know about it.
That's what I'm.
He organized it to get us started to find out exactly what they're talking about.
Right. Well,
We've not been notified.
But we see now where we need to go. Like WJ said this now, this meeting and the other one I guess was fruitless because we don't have the people here that can answer questions, nor do we have the residents here in the community. So maybe you need to form a committee to make sure you contact every citizen in this community and every person in Greeleyville, that council and the mayor, and call another meeting and have them to come here and everyone say what they got to say. Now, that's what I would suggest, because right now, WJ said it well, we're just spinning wheels on a stationary bike right now.
Right.
We're not moving. So at least what came out of this meeting, y'all see, didn't know it was franchise, so now you know it's a franchise, Greeleyville has it, and they can answer some questions that we cannot answer. So what I would do, if I were you all, my suggestion, start from this point and organize a community committee to contact everybody in this community, and let that same committee maybe contact the people in Greeleyville that's responsible for this, and they can answer some questions, and maybe from that point, you can go forward. Because right now, I know Dr. Wright knows a little bit more, because she does the day-to-day operation. She knows how all these water projects work, and a lot of more than I do. But I can just tell you what I know. But the crux of it, the town of Greeleyville people need to be here.
How much is the water bills in town that you've taken care of?
Now $42.
How much?
42.
Now, like you said, we're moving in a circle. But this is the area, okay, this is this road right here, leads loop all the way around. And if we got the water system in here, we don't want the water stale because the houses is not like a town. We scattered. You see what I'm saying? We are scattered. And so that water got to move, or it will be contaminated. You understand me?
Now, they know, because if it's not enough flow, they'll let it out.
Yeah.
They'll let it out.
At the
But
cost
let's-
of
Just not draining out.
Right, but I tell you
At the
this, this is
cost
not
of
the
who?
only community that it's gonna serve now. I do know, Jesse told me, it's gonna go down Eddiewood Road, all the way down to Spam Road, gonna come back up and come down this way. And I thought he said stop down there at that store down there, at 261. And then it's gonna go back down Mulberry Road. So in that section too, so it's not gonna just be in the Snowhill area, it's gonna be in that other area out there as well.
Water got to flow.
But what I'm gonna say to both of y'all is as my elected representatives, I want y'all to know, I don't want this water. I don't think we can afford it. I want you to take another look at how Greenville's handling this, the information they're putting out and not putting out. And
I mean, I think you should set up another meeting and establish, because like I
so
said,
you set up the meeting. You
you have a lot of people.
That's what we pay you for.
I know, I can't
Not
get in.
you, Butch.
But
It ain't him either.
Greeleyville,
You know it
I
ain't
keep
him.
telling you, Francis, This is Greeleyville's project.
But we
Now,
don't vote for them people in Greenville.
no, you vote for me when stuff is relevant to the county.
And
But
this is relevant
this,
to
no, this is exclusive. Greeleyville. Now, like Mr. Cunningham organized the meeting y'all said. Now, my suggestion, if possible, if he would agree to do that, let him get in contact with the Greeleyville people, the mayor
I
and the
know what your
administration.
suggestion is.
Yeah, okay.
Who need to be here was
And
Justin who?
officially secede from Greenville.
We don't know.
I am no longer a citizen. This is not what I want. Y'all are not representing me. So, I'm out. I'm fighting this, everything I got.
Excuse me, could, the town of Greeleyville, Jesse, whoever, could they, you said like, contact all the residents around here and see what they want? Could the town send out flyers?
I think they did according to this letter.
No,
They have it, that's what we're
I
telling
think
you.
it's best
Even
to
if
stay
they
in
have-
contact with people.
If they would even send out flyers and ask the question, do you want it or not? Check yes or no, or send it back, something.
Okay, so
He sent them.
let me try to explain this gently as I can, in terms of how government works. We do not have, this body, governing body, do not have any authorities to persuade or to push a township to do anything. That's basically saying, in a sense, that the mayor of Greeleyville has the authority to tell the county supervisor what to do, or even make a recommendation. We can say, hey, you know, Jesse, you probably need to talk to your people. That's it. They don't want the water. That's all we can say.
But you gave them a franchise without our
County
knowledge. You
gave
didn't put
them-
any
I
strings
don't know.
on
I
it.
don't know if it was without your
I
knowledge.
didn't know.
Probably,
that, no,
this
Mayor.
didn't just happen yesterday, y'all.
But we don't know.
So when did
But
it
we
happen?
didn't
I don't know when it happened, but I know it didn't happen
Nor
yesterday.
did we know
It
where it
didn't
happened.
happen on my watch, okay?
We're not blaming
So, what you have to do is, we need to look back at the minutes and see when this all took place. And who was invited. Now, I'm sure it probably happened during a council meeting, which no one attends.
I do.
You know, they don't, we get one or two people sitting in our, that's how stuff get passed on y'all. You don't attend council meetings. And then when it gets to the point where it is now, oh my gosh, y'all ready to storm the Capitol. You know, and that's because we are not staying in touch to what your government is doing. She says she don't trust government.
I know.
Come to the meetings, voice your opinions, ask to see relevant information. I've invited Ms. Francis up to come and look at any of my books,
She
as I
has.
have done y'all.
And she's been wide open and she's
You know?
great and I
Never had
fully
an
support
invitation.
her.
You know?
But I do not support
And
this
I don't
process.
know.
She been saying that though. I wouldn't have expected
First
Chuck and
Monday
she ain't
and
even
third
like the
Tuesday
county
of
board
each month.
system. She
Never
got on
done
my
that.
case.
Never got an invitation, never been
Yes.
posted.
But it's in the paper, it's in the newspaper. I don't know if you read the paper, but it's in the paper, it's on the webpage.
I haven't bought a paper in years.
Well, I'm just saying, it's not,
We got to do
I think I
something.
wanted to say something.
Some people say, I don't get the code red phone messages. I don't read the newspaper. I don't have social media. How else are we gonna make contact with you all? We got to figure out a way, somehow, we gotta use some of the mediums that are out here now in order for us to get the word out to you all.
One way you can make contact with us, when it's time to vote, we see all these things stick up on the road. We can see them. Vote such and such a time. I know, do something like that. You know, put them on corners. Do something like that. I read everything that somebody got on a poster.
If someone
On the
said,
corner.
when the next meeting, I'll personally reach out to much people as I can.
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
reach
he
out
has to
all
get
the
that
minute,
word
man.
out to you all, but I mean, I agree with what she's saying, but we're trying to we're trying to get every single medium we can hit affordably,
Yeah, we do the
you
best
know.
we can.
We do the best we can
By
with
you two,
communication.
I-
Yes,
by
sir.
you coming out here today, would it be feasible or is it, would it be proper for you to, either of you, to contact, just since this came from Greeleyville, the mayor, contact him, like you said, and let him know he needs to talk to us, or set up, if he set up a meeting to the fact as to when he want to gather with the people and let just like he sent out these notices, sent out notices that he needs to talk to the people for those that don't understand or those that have questions. But just to dump this and all these figures and stuff on you, hey, my tax high enough now, and not knowing what's going on.
What I do, I promise you, on the way going home, I'll stop by Jesse's house.
Again.
And if you get again, I'll
So I
find
know we done closed out the business.
2 years ago,
But you,
I just got my tax down to 125 because of 65 years old. And here come another $280 added. I think you can get me there.
Research, but usually from what I researched and I call my insurance, they said that if you're connected into city water, your insurance would go down more. So now I researched that. But I mean, that's not the complete answer.
But the insurance goes down, but all your other costs go up. So it's a net, it's not a gain.
Cancel out, it's not a game,
It's
break
not,
even.
you don't gain nothing.
Right, you break
The
even.
insurance goes down, but you're paying for water, or you're not paying, you're paying for not having
And
water.
see, I can't say a lot of people here, but just as much people for it is opposed.
It is.
But it's not a lot of people here.
I'm telling
And like I said, we have much more people than this. But I'm gonna go, cause we back and forth
Right.
and don't have the answer, so this is a premature meeting.
Well, I mean, we're here, we'll come to the next meeting, we will also, tell Jesse what you all felt about, but again, if he say, y'all stay out of my business, we're gonna have to say, okay.
I was
And I don't think that's right.
for the water.
We don't vote for Jesse.
I vote for
Let's
it.
go.
I really voted for it.
That's like what,
But you didn't say
All
that
these
you
other cars
advocate your
that had
responsibility to
Yeah.
Jesse.
yeah,
that's what
he
government
doesn't,
for
that's
Francis,
just the
right?
way.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I'm not saying it's right, but that's.
That's
We don't
government.
have the authority over Jesse in this town.
We don't even have, in any event of something happening, we don't have the ability to override something like that. They will. And this is
Well, I
why.
understand that, it's
You know
this
this.
is in the land, this is in the country.
Right, well,
And y'all, the franchise.
that's what happened.
That should be something.
Yeah, I get that.
This is
But this water, Francis, is a different thing. If a crime happened out here, yes, in the county, in a rural area, we're responsible. But this water project, that's exclusively the town of Greeleyville.
I understand
But you're talking
building
about
it.
franchise.
But they couldn't build it unless y'all said, okay, build it.
Right, that's what we told them. But then that's already gone. We don't get past that stage in the road. But no, what, Francis, the best thing is, and Jesse has told me this, he said, I told him, you told me to shoot it right. And he said, but listen, there's no big problem. If the majority of the people don't want it, tell them, I'm not gonna cry, don't accept the water, so we don't want it, and they won't even get it.
But they didn't give us an option.
You got it, you still got it. You
They
got it, you still
don't
got
know
it.
the information to make a good decision on what they
Right.
want.
Well, that next meeting might give you an opportunity to do that, get them people
We
here.
need to know exactly what we're buying or not buying.
Oh, I agree.
That's right.
What kind of percentage would they have to have of the people that would want it versus not?
I couldn't.
Basically, when they hand out the survey and people will determine if they want the water, they'll look at that, and if that's enough people to buy into the idea, then they'll either vote to proceed or not. And then you have first, second, public hearing, and third reading, that you can also go and voice your concerns.
We're not citizens of town of Greeleyville.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I'm looking at everybody's
I know it.
now around here.
You have to deal with the town.
But we're not citizens, so that work.
I don't know what this guy has.
You know, but now you say,
They basically, y'all basically.
You know they're not paying for this.
They're not, they're supposed to be self-sustaining, but
And
they're
they're
not.
not, and that's not.
We are now, but they're not.
All right, Jessica, y'all can answer some of these questions now.
Oh, they just,
He just
there you
pulled
go,
up.
right there.
He just pulled up. Jessica, come on, I know your answer.
Let me tell you something, we've been getting knocked over the head.
Let me say what it is. We've had several persons out here, several families, been to us like 3 years ago requesting that we bring water into this area. We did a study one time and brought water up to where Coleman ran into Eastler. And for whatever reason, that didn't work out because the same thing that I hear that's going on now happened back then. You got people in the community telling people, but all this, what they have to pay this, pay that, and all that kind of craziness is crazy. And let me tell you, I'm not out here trying to make anybody get any water. I could almost care less in a sense as to whether you get the water or not, but you should get it. Okay, we're finishing up a project in the backwoods right now with 46 different houses back there in that area that's coming on to the water by the end of this month. But here's the thing, and it's kind of crazy because, and my thing is, especially if we get enough people out here that want the water, the ones of you that's gonna not get the water, here's the thing, you're gonna have to pay $280 on your tax to the water go by you and you're not on it. That's enough to pay your water bill for 7 months out the year right there. That $180 that's gonna be added to your tax, $280 that's gonna be added to your tax, that's 7 water bills. 7 months out the year, your water bill is paid with that money you can put on your tax. So why not get on the water and pay the other 5 months? You don't have to worry about water pump, electrical coming from water pump. You don't have to worry about keeping something hot in the wintertime because if the electricity go out, you still got water. So my thing is a win-win situation, but if the community don't want it, you know, we'll withdraw the effort and it's not gonna hurt the town of Greenville at all. So I don't want nobody to think that we out here because we trying to make money off of you. That's not an issue. It's not that. It's not that at all.
But why do it if it's not gonna make money?
Well, one of the things is that we as a county trying to get people off of this water that's no good. Now this is what I'm told, and it might be a lie, but it's coming from the state. Some of the reason that we got one of the highest infant mortality rate in the state of South Carolina is related a whole lot to the water. One of the reasons we got people around here riding buses every day to the dialysis place over there in King Street is because part of it is because of the water we're drinking. Now,
That's a proven fact?
Yes.
Proven?
Yeah, now let me say this too. Now, don't you let people fool you that got these deep water wells that's 150, 200 feet down in the ground when yours is like 50 feet. Okay? Now, if you want to go back and take $2,000 or $3,000 and dig down 200, 250 feet like some of the folks in the area got, you good. And that's the reason some of them don't want the water, because if you get good, clean drinking water, they got that 200-foot well out there in the ground. Now they got to pay either $280 or come on too. But if you don't get the water, you're drinking dirty water while they're drinking water from 200 feet down in the ground. That's the nuts of it. Now, anybody got any question? I'll answer.
Yeah, I do. With that being said, you know, I'm not, you know, riding on anyone's back. I'm speaking as a man in my opinion and what I feel. I have to go to Greedyville or to King Street to wash white clothes, and then after I warm a couple of months, you have to throw them away because the water's not dug. Some people, in fact, that my father's dead, gonna rest in peace. He's the one who dug my well, and it only like maybe 100 feet, and some people 200, 300, 500 deep dug them. So everyone's well is not the same. So I'm 100% for it.
I don't know.
It's time for us to start living the time,
It's
so I'm for it.
so long, I don't know how deep mine is.
I'm opposed to it because I don't wanna pay for it.
I was,
I'm not spending
Nothing
$42
to
a
see in it.
month now.
You get it, you can pay for it.
And I don't wanna pay. If you can get it out here for these folks and leave me out of it, and it don't cost me nothing, I'm fine. I'm like Miss Eva. I'm living on a wing and a prayer. I'm living close. And I don't wanna pay nothing else. And if you can do it without it costing me anything, knock yourself out.
Well, it's not about just you. It's about the total whole, the majority.
It is about me as
No,
far
it's
as
not
I
about
am
you.
concerned.
No, you don't live in this world by yourself. You don't live in this area by yourself.
And there's nobody here under this shed that pays my bills or buys my groceries.
Right.
There's nobody here that
When
does
you
that.
go over there in January, February, whatever, and pay your tax, nobody under this shed paying your tax. You
No,
the same
nobody
thing.
paying my taxes, and I'm not paying nobody else's. But if you can get the water out here and leave me out of it, do it.
Well, Frank,
I
You don't have to connect to it, that's one thing.
I know it, but I gotta pay $280.
I agree with that.
And your letter was very misleading in some of these ways. It said grant, and then not gonna be long talking about wells that are contaminated. I wanna know where those wells are.
How deep is yours, if you don't mind me asking?
I have no idea. I have no idea how deep my well is, but when I turn the spigot on, rusty water comes out of it. And I drink it.
Jesse,
That's good, if you wanna drink rusty water, I hope the rest of the people in the
with all
area
due
don't
respect,
wanna
I'm ready to
drink.
go, but I think that we should reschedule, so it shouldn't be half for, half against.
One
Now,
for.
the one I spoke with in high numbers, but those are what I spoke with is 4. So I suppose someone who nay against it, they might have spoke with the one that against
Well,
it.
see,
But I think
that's-
that we should reschedule with everybody, not just partial, because the community is a community of all, not 1, 2, 3, or 4. So like I said, I informed Mr. Montgomery about it, he didn't know about it, and someone informed me. I asked Marvin, did he hear about the meeting last time? He wasn't here. So I don't know if someone reached out to Mr. Kiva or not, but I'll make sure that I call as much people as I can. So whatever date that they chose to reschedule, I'm for it, so we can have people who for it, not just the people who against.
I agree with you, Deputy. I think that's what should happen, because, this is just a small
It is.
scope of the people in this area. This is not even
It's not even a thought.
5% of the people in the area.
This was just a group of people trying to get some
This is a
answers.
small segment that somebody put together and just bring certain people.
But that's my thing, why is it that everybody is not aware, and I know the last time, I sure wasn't aware of it, that you all had a meeting questioning the water.
Like this letter right there, did you ever see the letter, Mr. Montgomery? I never saw that letter until last week I read it. So like I say, it's premature, so I'm gonna go with all due respect, I excuse myself, but I think we should have it when everyone is here. It's like I said, you got more polls now than I had last year.
So who's gonna be responsible for scheduling the next meeting?
Who will put it together?
Who's gonna be responsible for scheduling it so we could get a lot, cause I mean,
I can
the
call.
only reason we approach out here about water is because people, and I'm not talking no 4, 5, and 6, approach us about bringing water out here. We didn't approach you
You
guys.
check your schedule and tell me when you can be back, and I will get in my car and I will start by calling and
I
reaching
could
as
probably
many
come
people
out
as
here
I
almost
can.
any afternoon.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter with me, anytime except the second Monday.
Okay.
And for the most part, councilman,
Well, next
for
week-
first and second Monday is probably a no-no. Any time after that with me is fine.
You tell me the date and I'll get on the phone and start calling and driving, whatever I need to do.
We need a flyer so that we could go down and put it in people's mailboxes. That would eliminate a lot of, people
It
just
would.
didn't know. It happened.
And that would probably be easier than
I
not,
You
I
don't
can
wanna
just
go
go
in
by and
my
put it in
mailbox.
people's mailbox.
That's a federal offense.
Yeah, you can't put some
No,
people
you
Or on the
Right.
mailbox. Right.
It's
In the mailbox or on the mailbox.
Now, I was
But
wondering.
all you gotta do, I mean,
I can-
people out here for the most part, everybody knew everybody. You
I
can
can call
just
people.
get somebody to go to the house and just leave it on the porch or the door, whatever.
Post office,
And
only
if,
people have access to.
I mean, I could even handle that
I can call,
myself
I can call
Let's do it 2
people,
weeks
go
from
to
today,
the
Jesse.
chief in the community.
They give them time to
2
get
weeks
all
from
that.
today.
Yeah.
They would be on the what date?
Why can't the town of Greenville send letters out to everybody?
We could bring them out.
Well, you know, Jesse, this, everybody out here didn't get this letter.
She
'Cause
made
I called
copies.
some people that didn't
Put
get
in
this letter.
bold
And
writing.
we had this meeting to try to get some information.
So
This
why
gentleman
did
over
you
here
all
said-
need to on the mail?
So that was, so you said
We
that's
had
on the
just talked amongst
27th?
ourselves first.
I'm gonna go.
And I did not understand that Greeleyville had a franchise. I called Butch because he's my elected representative. I can't vote for you.
So that'd be on the 27th?
So that's why I called
Is that
Butch.
a good or bad thing?
I initially wanted the water, because I talked to you about it. I think I mentioned it to you, I mentioned it to, even Ronnie Sapp. But when I got the letter, now before I even got the letter, a representative from your office called me and told me about it, and told me to let people know. I told them, say, I can't make a decision for people, y'all send it, they have to make it themselves.
Exactly.
So, I told, when I read the letter, when I got the letter, I called back. No, she was telling me what was on the letter. And I told her, I said, my point is, even before I got the letter, Say, I'm not satisfied with y'all making a decision on how much I pay per month, and I haven't even used either a plate of water yet. But yet you already set me up for a particular amount, and it's just me in my household. And she was telling me, said, they will allow 3,000 gallons of water per month at $42. I said, and if I don't use that, she said, well, you still have to pay. I don't see where that right with me.
If you don't use it, when you pay your tax, you gotta pay $280.
Well, you know what, Miss
Even
Evans?
if I get it and I don't use
No,
it.
you don't have to pay that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I said, if I get it and don't use 3,000 gallons per month.
There's a flat rate minimum.
That's what she said.
There's a flat minimum rate
Uh-huh.
at $3,000. If you use, like my household, I'm single, I'm by myself.
Just like me.
I probably don't use 1,500 gallons to the month, but I gotta pay that base fee. And that's the way it is with everybody.
But you
Everybody
made the choice to live in Greeley.
everybody water system run that way.
I made the choice to live in a rural area with a well.
That's it.
Now, how much, if you're so many feet away from the water line and you don't have to hook on, what's the distance? 1,000 feet, 750 feet,
I
500 feet?
don't know. There is an amount, but I don't know it.
There is a distance.
You might not have to pay it. You far
That
off
date is
the
the
road.
27th.
You might be excused.
Would you, if it's possible, let's make that meeting mid-May.
And I'd like to see a map.
That's too long.
2 weeks.
27th.
2 weeks is too long.
No, mid-May is too long. We need,
27th.
Yeah,
my thing
it's
is
too
that
long.
we gonna get this project and get it
Let's try to
started,
do it on
we
the
need to
27th
do
and get
it.
this-
Otherwise,
get
we'll
this
just
one
skip
done.
out on it and move to another area.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather
They have,
27th.
so you have a certain limited time for for the people to respond?
The people in this area.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
In fact, tell you the truth, we just turned down an opportunity to apply for a grant, might be 3 weeks ago, simply because we didn't have the survey letters back in for this area.
That's because we didn't get them.
We didn't get it.
Okay, well, that's why I say, we'll get it back up and going. I'll make sure you get them. I gotta bring them to you myself.
I got
Let's
mine.
set up for the
But you-
27th. Yes.
And I'm wondering why you didn't get them.
Yeah.
I didn't get one. He and I spoke, I didn't get one.
And it could be one of those situations now, let me tell you, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but it does happen. Because when my folks come by, if you're not home, for the most part, I try to tell them, find some place to put them where when people come back up or whatever, they'll see, like they might put it in your screen door, or flower pot, or something like
These
that.
things were
around the
hand
house.
delivered. I got mine through the mail.
I did too.
And she made copies for us.
And some was hand delivered too.
So Jesse, you will take it upon the city of
I think the one we
Louisville
didn't have,
contact the people.
was hand delivered.
You will take it upon the city of Louisville to contact the people?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
27th.
See, I've been trying to ask this question, we've been talking about it before you came, and now we're still talking about it. One point, and you made it clear, you says, well, the growth in the community, yes, I don't think nobody is rejecting the growth. We want to grow. But the thing is, the survey of the people and the people's income, we want what's best for us. But when you don't get that water through here, that $280 is the point. You don't get that water, you say I decline. Now I didn't decline when it came, but when I realized, I sent my letter back and filled it out, the application. I didn't decline it at that time, but what I'm still saying, the cost of living for us has not increased. And I'm saying, if you bypass and I say I don't want this water, you can tax me $280 every year, my poor broke self, and you gonna tell me that then I can't pay that tax now, because I'm only paying, wait a minute, I'm a veteran wife, and I'm exempt right now from paying that high property tax. So I paid that $100 you all taxed us for some years back here, plus my amount for the exemption. So now I'm gonna have $300, almost $400 worth of property tax from me that I can't pay. So then now, the next thing I'm gonna know, I'm gonna get a notice saying my house is my property is gonna be taken because I can't pay it. It came up, I don't know why it came up with taxing people $280 and didn't tell nobody, you know.
Well, let me follow up by saying this. You know, a lot of time, and I'm gonna say this because this is what I say when I go to all the different communities, so I'm gonna say it here too. And I hate that about a lot of us in Williamsburg County. I say us, I'm talking people in elected and appointed position and things. We always dumbing down ourselves here in Williamsburg County about what we can't afford and that type thing. Now, the demographic of people up in this area here, for the most part overall, I know for a fact your income is higher than the folks' income back there in that backwoods. The area I'm talking about in the backwoods, McMillan, Gibson, whatever.
Where's the backwoods? Tell me where the backwoods is.
Leaving Greeleyville going towards St. Stephen's. Mackey Road, Gibson, Mackey, Gibson, and McMillan. And my thing is, they're the same way almost everybody else around here, on a set income. I just retired, I'm on a set income too. But still yet, that's how we operate. But here's the thing, I see a lot of people. I float around in Greeleyville a lot of time in the afternoon from Dollar General, Coon Jammy, 363 out there in Greeleyville, and out there at 52 Station. Some of the same people that swear out, I'm on fixed income, I can't pay this, I can't pay that. 3 and 4 times a day, they out there at those stores playing the numbers. And that's not 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, that's 7 days a week.
That's not a wisdom.
And then you go out there and if they got 3 or 4 people in the household, everybody got a cell phone.
And that ain't got nothing to do with us.
That has a lot to do with it. If you can afford that, you can afford it.
I don't
Never mind.
You don't see me out there when you go wander.
I don't know about
I don't
You
even
don't
have
see
a
me
gun
out
on the
there.
phone.
I ain't got
When
no
I say
folks.
my
But I'm just saying, that's what it
ticket,
is,
my
when we swear out what we
income,
can't do.
We would like to thank our public officials for attending this meeting. The next meeting will be held on April the 27th here in the Snowhill Park. Please remind others of this date, April the 27th at 6, so the attendance will be better. Thank you. Please share.